Hi everyone, thank you for joining us for our March episode of Welcome Home. I'm Rachel Schramm with Simply Home Real Estate, bringing you beautiful spaces and real estate tips right here every month. Well, the snow has melted, the sun is shining, and we're ready for spring. From new looks for spring to new ways to do business, we've got you covered. Welcome Home starts right now.
From the NewsChannel 5 network, this is Welcome Home with Rachel Schramm.
Well, as a real estate agent, I always want to provide my sellers with all possible options for a successful sale. One of those options I love having in my toolbox is a real estate auction. But myths and misconceptions abound about selling at auction. I recently caught up with the auctioneer himself, Jay Cash, at a recent auction we worked together on to tackle some of your toughest questions about auctions. Take a look.
Jay Cash.
Yes, ma'am.
The auctioneer. You are the hero of the day. Tell me what just happened here, because you just sold a property for about $100,000 more than the seller thought we might sell it for.
You know, the finest assets in the world are sold at auction. Real estate is no exception. And today here in East Nashville, we've got a house that easily would sell itself, but we had 19 passionate buyers, wannabe buyers show up, but only one of them could be the winning bidder, and that's what we found out is who wanted it the most. At auction, the seller is always the biggest winner, it seems, because they have the market come to them. They make all the buyers bid passionately against one another, and it ends up where we were today at over $300,000 on a property that far exceeded our seller's expectations. So it was a great day for the seller. The buyers tickled to death. You're happy, I'm happy, so it's a great day for everybody.
It's a huge win for everybody.
Absolutely.
Tell me why auctions work so well, particularly in this market right now.
Well, it's the fairest way for buyers to buy. This house here would have easily went on the market. You would have had multiple offers with different terms and conditions for each buyer. They would have had different contingencies as far as inspections, maybe financing contingencies or home inspection contingencies or just closing date contingencies. At an auction, it's the fairest way for a buyer to come because everybody's on an equal playing field. Everybody today was required to put down a minimum of $10,000 if they were the winning bidder. They have to close within 45 days. All inspections must be done prior to the auction, and it just makes it the simplest way for a buyer to know that they're getting a property at fair market value.
Here's what I want to do. I think there are a lot of misconceptions. I want to do auction style Mythbusters.
Let's do it
today with Jay Cash. All right, so this is like super quick game show
Here we go.
style.
Let's
All
do it.
right. I polled our people, by the way. These are real questions. Number one, all homes at real estate auctions are foreclosures, distressed properties. There's something wrong with it.
Not at all. That's a big misconception. The finest assets in the world are sold at auction. It's not just a sales pitch, it's the truth. From automobiles, racehorses, fine art, jewelry, real estate's no exception. The most savvy sellers, the most savvy real estate brokers know how to leverage an auction to get the most money for their clients. And that is the main reason you should consider having an auction.
If I buy a home at auction, I must buy it sight unseen without inspection.
Not at all. Most properties in Middle Tennessee, not all, but I'm going to say the overwhelming majority, you can do your inspections, you can get home inspections, you can have your spouse come look at it, you can have your banker, your preacher, whoever you want to come look at the property. It's going to be open, and we're going to let you do all due diligence. The big misconception is being sold as is. As is doesn't mean anything necessarily is wrong with it. It just means the seller's not going to come back and make any kind of repairs or any kind of cleaning. You're buying the property in its current condition, and that's what we have here today.
Buyers must pay in full with cash at real estate auctions.
Not at all true. So today, the final sales price was $315,000 plus the 10% buyer's premium. Irregardless of whatever the bid is, you just pay an earnest money deposit. At auction, it's usually a flat rate of $10,000 or $25,000. That's always going to be disclosed. Sometimes it may be a percentage down, 3%, 5%, or 10% down, but it's only a certain amount that has to be paid down. The entire amount is not required the day of the sale.
All right, next one. Only experienced investors can really compete at real estate auctions. If I'm not an experienced investor, I don't stand a chance here.
Not at all the case. Anybody can buy at auction. A lot of times, first-time home buyers may not be the best candidate to buy it just because they're so nervous and anxious, and they need to have enough down payment. They've got to have that down payment is the main thing. You've got to have that 10% or $10,000, whatever the earnest money is required down. So that may eliminate some people, but you do not have to be a savvy investor to come buy at auction. That's definitely a misconception.
Here's one for me that I hear from a lot of agents. I think real estate agents a lot of times are scared of auctions. These were my sellers. These people came to me about listing it. I said, we need to call Jay Cash. It's an auction property. So here is what someone said, if I sell my home at auction, it will cost a lot more in commission than if I hire a realtor.
It does not cost any more. A lot of times it may be the same amount, it could be less amount. Commission is always negotiable at real estate, whether you go through a broker or call us directly, but certainly we're going to make sure that whatever advice we give you is the best advice. We turn down far more properties than we book. Not every property is a true candidate for auction, but as today, there couldn't be one that meet all the check marks like this property did. So not every property makes a great auction, but we are definitely going to tell you if it makes sense or not before we ever step foot on the property to try to sell it at auction.
And for me as an agent, it's just something else to have in my toolbox.
Absolutely.
To be able to offer my people, and I love that. All right, here's another one. If I sell my home at auction, I'll get a lower price than market value.
Not at all the case. A lot of times property will sell. It's not contingent upon appraised value. Many times we will have an auction. We will have passionate bidders show up. The price becomes whatever it is, and there are situations where it exceeds appraised value. There are many times we exceed prior list value, where if the property had been on the MLS prior to going to the auction, that we get more than what they've been asking for. It's just another way to sell. There's nothing wrong with listing traditionally. In fact, a lot of properties are best suited for that, but an auction can be a seller's best friend when they truly want to find out what their property is worth in the current market value in the condition that it's in.
Jay Cash, thank you so much for partnering with me.
Absolutely.
This was a great win today. Let's do it. Where can somebody find you online if they're interested, curious?
Anytime you want to. JamesRCashAuctions.com. Jay Cash, the auctioneer. We're Rachel Schramm here, and we thank you so much for watching our video today. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
If you're considering selling and you'd like to discuss your options, reach out at rachelschramm.com for more information. And when we come back, tips on taking your business to the next level.